Welcome to this week's episode of Coffee with a Journalist, brought to you by the team at OnePitch. Are you looking for a more efficient way to find and pitch the right journalists? Head to our website at onepitch.co to learn more. Our guest on today's episode of Coffee with a Journalist is Sarah Allard, Digital Director at Condé Nast Traveller. During the episode, Sarah discusses how her role has shifted from writing to strategy and planning, what catches her eye in a travel pitch, the types of stories she helps Condé Nast Traveller tell, and what it's like working with a global journalism team.
Welcome, everyone. This is Coffee with a Journalist. I'm Beck Bamberger, and we're here to demystify the wonderful world of public relations, specifically media relations. And that is why we bring on editors, directors, freelancers, reporters, all the media people we can find and know. And in fact, with us today is a digital director recently promoted. Sarah Allard is here. She's the digital director now, the digital editor of Condé Nast Traveller. And we are so excited, Sarah, to be chatting with you. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Beck. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. I've been looking forward to this.
Yes. Oh, we have a fun time here. So real quick, though, you recently got promoted.
I did.
So you went from digital editor to director. Please demystify this perhaps for people, because even on your LinkedIn right now, it still has the old title, by the way.
I know. Do you know what?
We got to update it.
I'm not very good at LinkedIn. I'm going to say that
too.
at the beginning.
It's okay. It's okay.
I need to be better.
There's 100 outlets to update all the time. So yes.
There's too many. Instagram is the most exciting one, I have to say. I'm an Instagram girly.
Mm-hmm.
So digital director, which is so exciting. I haven't actually said it out loud very much. I'm so excited. So for Condé Nast Traveller UK, and I'm really lucky I have the most amazing team. But I'm kind of still doing what I've been doing. We work really globally at Traveller, so I think there's just going to be a lot more of that kind of global work now that I'm in this new promoted role. But it's all good. It's very exciting.
And please, for maybe those who don't know as much, or just to illuminate all of us here, we talk a lot sometimes with, there's quite a difference between being a reporter and being an editor, but now as the director, how would you delineate those roles?
So I would say, to be honest, I don't actually write much at all anymore. I think that my role has become a lot more around kind of strategy and planning. More of the strategy around what we're doing at Traveller, which I absolutely love. And I work with not only our own digital team, but I work very closely with the print team, with all of our other global, we have 7 markets at Traveller. So I work with all the other editors, all the other directors, and just kind of working on those kind of bigger picture projects and packages that we have at Traveller. So more strategy focused, less of the kind of day-to-day writing, I would say.
Do you miss that though?
I do. I love it. I try to do bits when I can. Obviously get to do the odd, hotel review, which is very nice.
Which is great. Yep.
Which is great. Not going to give those up. But I do miss it. And try to do bits when I can. But the weeks go by so quickly, I can't actually believe we're in May.
Yeah, I know. Halfway through the year. Let's back up for a second. And again, I ask this now for pretty much any outlet that comes on, because I want to hear it straight from the horse's mouth and have you articulate it. What would you say encompasses the coverage for Condé Nast Traveller? Because there's a lot.
There's a lot. We cover so much. It's everything from travel news, tips, trends. We cover the latest travel gadgets to buy, latest openings. Obviously, that's very important for us. As I mentioned, hotel reviews, that's huge. But I'd say all of these things, I think they're very important. But at its heart, we really like to tell authentic stories about people that are rooted in travel. And that could be a feature on, how a writer has been able to connect with their heritage and their culture through a particularly meaningful trip. It could be how a trip has had a lasting impact on someone who's going through a big change in their life. So these people-focused stories are incredibly important to us. But it's just changed so much, even in the 2.5 years that I've been a traveller. And just being on the inside. For me, when I joined, I had it's my first job in travel, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's been so eye-opening. And for me, I think what's been the most incredible thing is just seeing behind the scenes of the incredible work and the planning and the thought and the knowledge that goes into every single story that we run. It blows my mind.
Yeah.
Across the magazine and the website, it's just, the knowledge is incredible and the team are just amazing. So I'm very lucky.
I think too, similar to when we have more of the lifestyle and the fashion stuff, yet travel is a business. There's a lot of things that are not the glamorous things about it. And so I can only imagine you see now the innards of how the travel business works. And it's not just like fabulous plushy pillows and arriving on time in a luxury car. It's all these other things and news.
Absolutely. And
especially post-COVID.
I mean, yeah, when I joined, it is actually just sort of towards the end of COVID. And one of
my God, what a time.
What a time. It was just before that kind of first year of full travel returning. So, which is kind of great in some ways because, you've got this kind of new opportunity to really look at how people are traveling. People are traveling so differently now.
Yeah.
And that has been so interesting. There's so many challenges that the industry is facing. Obviously, the climate is a huge one.
Yeah, I was going to say, tell us what some of those are that you see.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen such a shift in the way that people are traveling. I mean, just last year in Europe, with the heat that we saw and over tourism, as you know, is such a huge thing.
Yes.
So it's been really interesting to see, how that's already impacting people's travels this year. I think we're going to see a lot more travel to cooler, more Northern European destinations, which is great. And it's so exciting to see those like new summer destinations come through. So yeah, lots of interesting stuff going on, but it keeps every day, fun, and you just don't know what you're going to kind of be up against. So it's good.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Sarah, your inbox these days, how does it look and what's in there?
Oh, Beck, my inbox. When I started at Traveller, I didn't actually think that my inbox would be one of my main jobs.
Oh, it is a job.
It's
oh my
so
God.
crazy. It's a lot. I shouldn't complain because it's full of so much good stuff. But yeah, it's definitely been one of the things that I've really had to learn to kind of tackle and cope with and figure out. And I think I'm getting there definitely. And I've got like my systems that I kind of tried to stick to, but I don't know. I mean, I was always an inbox zero kind of gal.
Oh, me too. Did that go away?
It did. Yeah,
it
has. And it's not too bad. I'd say at the moment, I've got about 50 emails in my inbox.
Okay. That's not bad. Okay.
It's not, yeah. I'm never going to be one of those people that has that 100,000 unread email.
Oh, and there are those people. Listen, they come on the show too. They just let it ride. And I'm like, wow, I couldn't.
Gives me anxiety just thinking about
it. It would give me, I would wither. Okay. So then do you have, now you're not inbox zero, let's say religiously, but do you have a way in which you manage then, I imagine, the Condé Nast Traveller business stuff, the pitches that come in maybe from freelancers, your staff, random other pitches? We'll get into that in a second, but how do you manage that?
I think I've just got quite good at kind of spotting what I know is the stuff that I need to read instantly and action instantly. Like, anything from the team.
Yeah, immediate
kind of, I always read that. And then I think I've just kind of 2.5 years in, I've kind of, I've built these relationships with publicists and with freelancers. So I kind of know who I'm kind of looking at maybe first. And then if it's not someone I've got a relationship with, perhaps, and that's the kind of stuff that might get left for a bit longer. And I have my folders. Everything has a folder.
Oh, you're a folder lady.
I'm a folder girl, yeah. So I basically will read it, action it, and as soon as it's actioned, it goes into its folder. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm trying to keep on top of it and keep organized. But obviously, it doesn't always work, but that's what I'm trying to stick to.
Today's interview will continue after this brief message brought to you by OnePitch. Are you curious to learn about the unique ways OnePitch helps brands engage with the right journalists? Head to onepitch.co and create your own custom media list in 5 minutes or less. Now back to today's episode.
Okay, let's go into pitches a little bit. What type of pitches are you getting? Are you getting mostly like freelancer pitches, or are you getting the publicist pitches? And what do you like in pitches, if anything?
Yeah, it's a bit of both. We're so lucky we get, a lot of amazing freelancers pitched to us. And that's how we get, loads of our great stories. I would say in terms of the way we commission, I'd say it's probably like 70-30, 70% we kind of actively commission. We know we have a destination we want to cover. We know who's in that destination, or, who knows that destination really well. And we kind of go to them. And then we save that kind of 30% for those fun, really interesting stories that we haven't planned, we can't write ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of save that for those pitches. So I get a lot of pitches from freelancers. I get a lot of emails from publicists. It's a real mix. So I try to action a lot of them myself. But yeah, a lot of them now that, if I'm a bit strapped for time, I might send those out to the team who I know kind of are best placed to kind of answer those emails. So yeah, I try to filter them out a lot as well.
Okay, so you're dispatching and going, okay, this person here, you do this piece, you could do this piece, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say that in the digital team, the team kind of have their own, I guess, pillars that they look after. So our deputy editor, for example, she really focuses on our weddings content, our safari content, our food content, which is just
fabulous.
So much of what we do is food related. So I will kind of pass a lot of that to her. Likewise with our wellness content, our accessibility content. We have our senior digital writer, she looks after that. So yeah, there's people in the team that, I'll automatically send out if it's kind of related. And yeah, in the system, it seems to be working. It's good. But we get, as I said, some really great pitches. I do kind of base a lot of what I'm opening and reading first over the subject line, I have to say. I want a good subject line. It needs to be grabby. We do see some, not so grabby, interesting ones.
Yeah. Can we get into that? What's a non-grabby one versus a yes, good? Because you're saying good, but let's define good.
Yeah. So, I mean, for me, that subject line, I want that to be like the subject line that you could imagine as like the newsletter that you're going to open. So, or the social sell, for example. So, I mean, I got a couple of examples here that I thought, I might share. So,
bring us examples, yes.
And also, what might be worth mentioning is that we have these kind of buzzwords. I mean, this isn't obviously just Condé Nast Traveller. I'm sure lots of other brands see this, but these buzzwords that we know are going to do so well from our newsletters and from social and from Google Discover, particularly like secret, undiscovered, less known, alternative.
Yes.
Also like locals guide to or / insiders guide to, that kind of stuff.
Yes.
That does really well for us. So anything like that in the subject line from a freelancer, I'm definitely interested in. So yeah, I've got one that was also put pitch actually in the subject line. I think a lot of people don't do that.
A lot of people don't, because I think publicists think, well, obviously it is a pitch, but I find that so many people have said that's helpful. Put exclusive, put story idea, put the thing it is, because you're blowing through, I don't know how many hundreds of emails a day, sometimes looking through what are the quick signals that tell me this is something I need to open.
Absolutely. And it just really when you're just glancing at your inbox, it just helps you quickly narrow down what you're looking at, what you need to action, what you need to file, all that stuff. So yeah, I find that really helpful. One I got recently was pitch : is this Scotland's coolest foodie neighborhood?
Oh.
And I was like, oh my God, yeah, tell me. I just, I want to know that kind of thing. I got another one that was pitch: meet Mexico's female rodeo riders. And I just thought, that's so cool. Yes. I love that. So yeah, I think I do really appreciate when people put the effort into the subject line, and that does, it really helps. It really helps me kind of, focus on what we're kind of looking at and what we want to run with. So yeah, some of the less good ones, I would say.
Do tell.
A lot of people just put pitch Greece. I'm like, okay, what? Pitch Spain. I'm like, okay. Not the best.
No.
And then just sometimes it's are you commissioning some pictures for you, some ideas for you? And then it will just be a bullet pointed list of just tons of ideas, which is great, but it's kind of hard to really narrow down the ones that are going to work for us. So Yeah, I'd say those are a bit more challenging. So yeah, I like people to be specific, really kind of hone in on what the idea is.
Okay. Hone in on the idea. Please, people. Sarah, I cannot believe pitch Spain. No. No. Oh, okay. Disappointing, people. Disappointing. Okay. Sarah, can people build relationships with you? How would they go about that?
Absolutely. I think I actually find it easier when I've met someone in person.
Yes.
So much easier. I feel like it gives me the opportunity to explain the kind of content that works at Traveller, the way that we work as a team, the way we work as a business as well, and how we work with print, and how we work with the other markets. It's just really incredibly helpful. It helps me visualize, if it's a publicist, obviously it's really good to hear more about their clients, and you just get more, I think, in face-to-face than obviously you can from a press release. I mean, that's obviously not rocket science, but it definitely helps bring things to life. And with a freelancer, it's just really helpful to kind of know a bit more about their own experience, where their passion points are, and really kind of get to grips with where their expertise lies.
Mm-hmm.
And then when their name pops up in your inbox, then everything connects. It just helps. So
you're like,
yeah, totally. So yeah, I'm definitely down for coffees and in breakfasts. I think those are my preferred face-to-face situations. So yeah, I love it. I love meeting people as much as I can.
Yes. Okay. Just for fun, what are some of your on your list travel destinations?
Oh gosh, such a good
for
question.
you. I mean, you all have the Hot List 2024, of course, we know this, but what about for you?
Do you know, I've never gone on safari.
Oh,
that is a real bucket list for me. I'm sure for many people.
It is a stunning thing if you get the chance. My God. Yes. Yes.
I would love to go. Have you been? And where would you, when you're such a traveler, where would you?
Yes, I was in Kenya, and it is truly like the Lion King. I thought, you'll have to spend hours in a Jeep or whatever, trying to find a cheetah with your binoculars. No, there are copious amounts of animals. At least the time I went, this was a couple years ago, everywhere. It's insane. It is really something.
That's incredible. Okay. Yeah. I have to do it.
It is truly remarkable. And I've done other animal-ish things. I've seen gorillas in Uganda. I've been to the Galapagos Islands. I've been to the Amazon stuff, but nothing is like the cornucopia of animals than a safari.
Amazing.
At least my experience. It's really uncanny. I think just as humans as we are now, you can't understand that wild creatures are all existing like that together.
Yeah.
It just kind of blows your mind. Yeah.
It's so incredible. I think everyone I've ever spoken to who's been on safari has just said what a life-changing experience it is.
It does something to you. Mm-hmm. Well, highly recommend, Sarah. I heard you have an editor for that, so you have someone to talk to who just knows safari. So perfect. Yeah. Okay. Are there any sources, Sarah, that you're really always looking for?
So we do, as I mentioned, we do quite a lot of travel tips and hacks, that kind of thing. It works really well for us. So really it's kind of like travel insiders, and that could be anyone from, an air steward or someone who's just on the kind of business side that has traveled a lot. Those kinds of people that we're definitely looking for a lot more of. Anyone basically who can offer that kind of unique point of view or hack around travel, to be honest, that's really... So at the moment, I'd say that's the real thing that we're kind of looking for in terms of sources. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sarah, we have a quick rapid fire little portion here. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm so excited for this.
Video or phone interview?
Phone. I would say phone. Yeah.
Phone, yes. Bullet points or paragraphs?
I mean, short paragraph. Can I say short paragraph?
Yes. Short paragraph, yes. That answers our next question, which is short or long pitches. I'm assuming short.
Sure, definitely. Keep it punchy. Just keep 2 ideas maximum in an email is just my ideal.
2 and done. Images attached or a Dropbox zip file?
I'm fine with both. I think Dropbox, you can just, we'll skip through them. Yeah. So maybe Dropbox, let's say.
Okay. An email or a DM? Maybe on Instagram, because you're on Instagram.
Oh, do you know what? I love Instagram, but that's not for work. I just much prefer an email. Otherwise, I lose it and I just will never find it again.
Agreed. One follow-up or multiple?
I don't mind people following up. I'd say one, give it more than a day.
Not 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, let's say one, maybe two max.
Okay. Direct or creative subject lines? We kind of covered that, but go ahead.
I mean, again, it depends if it's a PR. If it's a PR, or a publicist, I want it to be direct. If it's a freelancer, I think you can be creative.
Okay. Press release or media kit?
Press release.
Yes. Time you read pitches, if at all?
I mean, honestly, probably all day, but
All the time.
First thing, I think first thing in the morning, and then end of the day are always good times. I guess the middle of the day gets quite busy and hectic. So first thing in the morning is ideal.
And Sarah, lastly, is there anything we can promote, tout, celebrate about you?
Well, let me think.
Tell me.
We launched our first ever UK's Top New Restaurant Awards last year, which was so exciting. It's the first time it's ever been done at Traveller, and we're going to be running it again this year. And it's a celebration of all the new openings that we've loved and will obviously be for 2024. For the UK. So that's something that we're really excited about. We had a big awards party for it in March this year. So we'll be launching that again this year to kind of roll out early next year. So that's kind of been my kind of greatest sort of, I guess, achievement. I don't know. Something that I've just really loved working on, and it's just been so much fun.
That's great.
So I guess I have to say that because we had such a great time doing it. And as I mentioned, food is such a big part of the content that we do.
Mm-hmm.
And it does so well for us. So the restaurant awards for sure.
The restaurant awards. Well, and who doesn't like food, everybody? Come on. Sarah, thank you so much for being on here today. Everyone, this is Sarah Allard. She's now the digital director, Condé Nast Traveller. Sarah, thank you again for being on. And I hope you get to Safari.
Thank you so much, Beck. Thank you. I'll be coming to you for your tips if I ever do get there.
Thanks for listening to this week's Coffee with a Journalist episode with Sarah Allard, Digital Director at Condé Nast Traveller. For more exclusive insights about the journalist on this podcast, subscribe to our weekly podcast newsletter at onepitch.co/podcast. We'll see you next week, but until then, start great stories.